Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, the Ondo State governorship election in top gear as the state's National Youth Service Corps members to prepare ad hoc staff services. And the Oni of Ife unveils the Moremi statue, reviving Nigeria's culture, set to be the tallest statue in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us, and we begin in the southwestern part of the country and politics. We've been reporting on the Ondo State governorship elections and all the preparations towards the polls to hold on November the 26th. Well, a final verdict has been given by the appeal court declaring Mr. Eyitayo Jegede as the People's Democratic Party's candidate for the Ondo governorship election holding on Saturday. Now, in a lead judgment, the court said that it's settled in law that the party ought to be heard prior to a case brought against him, and since this was not done, the court resolves the case in favor of the respondent. On the issue of whether the court erred when it ordered INEC to publish the name of Mr. Jimoh Ibrahim, the court held that the order which was made in favor of Mr. Jimoh Ibrahim had no jurisdictional competence. Meanwhile, wide jubilation has erupted in major cities and towns in reaction to the judgment, and that is that Mr. Eyitayo Jegede is the People's Democratic Party's candidate for the Ondo governorship election. Meanwhile, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Suleiman Kazari, has urged members of the Corps that will be engaged as ad hoc staff in the Ondo governorship election to carry out their duties to the best of their abilities. The Army General gave the advice while addressing the Youth Corps members in Akure in Ondo State during the visit to educate them more on the electoral process and what is expected of them. He asked them not to be intimidated by anyone and to avoid financial inducement.
The race for the Ondo State governorship seat has hit fever pitch, with just days left before ballots are cast. Arrangements are in top gear as INEC gets set to absorb ad hoc staff to help ensure a smooth process. Among them are hundreds of Youth Corps members currently serving in Ondo State. They've been called to get a brief on the process, and with that comes a warning not to align themselves with any political party.
I want you to show that yes, we are encouraged. Try as much as possible during the election process. Try and show high level of integrity, participation, and try as much as possible to be neutral. Please, my children, don't be partisan. Don't align yourself to any party.
It's not the first time that Corps members will be used as election staff in Nigeria. Representatives of the State Independent National Electoral Commission commends past efforts of the NYSC in the conduct of elections.
Bearing in mind that so far, the involvement of these graduates has glamorously impacted on the credibility and transparency of elections in Nigeria, the involvement of NYSC as ad hoc officials has drastically reduced malfeasances hitherto committed by INEC officials during elections in Nigeria.
No doubt, election of public officials is always a sensitive issue, and being a vulnerable group, the Ondo State Commissioner of Police has some tips for the youth corpers.
Not move alone in the course of the performance of your duties. Ensure you move in groups or at least with another youth corps member. I also advise you to look around your environment and be very conscious of where you are and try to have very little knowledge as to entry points and exit points of any environment you find yourself.
Armed with knowledge of election safety, the Corps members are still assured of adequate security in the course of their duties.
Now away from the southwest to the north, central and other stories, the leadership crisis rocking the opposition People's Democratic Party is taking its toll as legislators elected on its platform are defecting to the ruling All Progressives Congress. In a shock move during plenary, one of the party's heavyweights, Deputy Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, formally announced that he was moving to the APC. Mr. James Okefe cited the intra-party crisis at the national and state levels as good enough reason for his defection. However, the minority leader, Mr. Sule Audu, says Mr. Okefe is free to go.
To quit People's Democratic Party to APC is simple. There is a division and faction in the PDP within the PDP party. And you don't know who is actually the chairman of the party. Amadou Kerefi is saying is the state national, is the national chairman. Amadou Sharif says is the national chairman. And if it comes to Benue State, Honorable Dan Ale, he says the PDP state chairman. And John Gwede is claiming he's the PDP state chairman down to the grassroots. On that kind of environment, I find it very difficult to operate. So I have no option than to join the APC party.
He has been, conducting his activities on anti-party ground. So to him, it's not an asset to PDP. It's a liability to us because he's counting our number, which is not useful to us. He has never supported anything on the floor of the House. So for him to go and join APC, it's not a new thing to us. That's why I said it's a liability that is leaving us to them, so they can manage the liability. If it's an asset, definitely we will fight for it. But to us, it's not an asset to PDP.
To Kogi State, the shock and political drama that heralded the death of former Kogi All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Abubakar Audu may have rested. But 1 year after, the political associates of his say the division in the state chapter of the APC continues. Party associates used the occasion of the first year prayer session to assess the performance of the ruling APC in Kogi State.
All Progressives Congress leaders in Kogi State and other party supporters gather for a short prayer session for late Abubakar Audu. His family members are represented, and one of the sons, who was the deputy governorship aspirant under a faction of the APC, goes down memory lane on life without Abubakar Audu.
Well, it was most unexpected when it happened. We cannot question God, but it remains the most painful experience in my entire life.
In about a month from now, precisely January the 27th, the administration of Governor Eyitayo Bello will be 1 year. But one of those who took him to court to contest his election, James Faleke, is here at the prayer session. He says there is a lot to do to reunite the party in the state.
The architects of the crisis in Kogi State started the imminent downfall of our party APC. The way and manner the issue of Kogi was handled, of course, was least expected of a political party. As far as what happened in Kogi State is concerned and how it's affecting the party, I'm sure those in government in the state can confirm that all is not well within the party in the state.
For the governor of the state, Eyitayo Bello, efforts are on to reunite the All Progressives Congress in Kogi State.
I want to use this opportunity to call on all my brothers, starting from our brother and father. Kogi State belongs to all of us. Please come and join me and give us your fatherly advice. Honorable James Abiodun Faleke, to join me in rebuilding the state. The state has bled well enough. Since its creation, that's 25 years ago. We must give it a new lease of life.
Another party chieftain and member, Federal House of Representatives, also at the prayer session, uses the platform to respond to allegations of budget padding.
Budget padded? No, the budget was not padded. So, who padded the budget? That is the question. If I told there was any padding.
Before the last general elections, The People's Democratic Party, the PDP, was the ruling party in Kogi, but now the APC is in control and is promising the people greater opportunities and development.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up in the southeast, the governor of Anambra State, Mr. Willie Obiano, announces the extension of the economic stimulus package and continues developmental strides. Stay with us.